We are page Dalet, just below the middle of the second section. Line we get to the word makom. It's 8 lines from the bottom. At the end of that line,
Seven lines.
Corrected. Again, as we're going to start talking about miyud ha'oyer and ribui oyer, the changes in oyer, if we do not focus in to the meaning of the word oyer, it will be a totally out of whack kind of conversation. We know what it means miyud ha'oyer. If you have a small bulb, the light is limited. If you have a big bulb, it's a lot of light. So as we pointed out many times, a very important, very important principle in the word oil. As it is used in Chassidus, and in reality, as it is used in general content, except we don't realize the significance of the words that we are using. As we speak all the time, the first day of creation, there was darkness, which is natural for the world. World is the tangible part, therefore it is dark. How do you partake of anything in the world? By its tangibility. You do not gain any of the vitamins, any of the nourishing qualities of food if you look at it. If you take it and you chew it up and swallow it up, then it has some value. This is how things are in the world. But then, the world is a godly creation. And as such, it carries and contains, there's a godly content in the world. It's not netto, so to speak, net world. In the dark, it would be net world.
Net world?
Net, just net. Net means just that. Do you get the point?
Yeah.
No, worldly is exclusively. Nothing more than just a worldly presence.
Exclusively dark.
Exclusively means that which is tangible and it's known only by its physical presence, by its physical experience. That's why it was dark, because how do you? And this is the natural state of the world. Worldness per se, please understand, color does not make any difference. Does a red apple and a white apple and a yellow apple make any difference? As far as the physicality of the world, nothing of the apple. The color of your wall, the walls of your house, these are significant to the finer human elements. To the physical aspect of the world has no difference. No, you're shaking your head.
I have difficulty understanding how darkness of the first day is tangible.
No, darkness is not tangible. No. Good.
That's what you said.
No, darkness is not tangible. Darkness leaves only the tangible part. Is that clear now?
No.
If you came into this room and it's completely dark,
Yeah.
how would you find out what's in the room?
By touch.
You could find out what's in the room, but only by touch.
Oh, so you're saying the consequence of darkness is tangible?
No. The consequence, the definition of plain world is darkness. Because plain world is tangibility. There's no point of seeing it. It doesn't mean anything, this sight, the way it looks. Still don't get it? When you get apple soup, apple sauce,
Apple soup?
apple sauce,
Sauce.
do you know what kind of apples, what color the apples had?
No.
Does it make a difference to you?
No.
So how can you eat it? You don't know what it looks like. What's the answer?
No matter what apple you use, you get apple sauce. Is that what you mean?
Because what you're relating to is to the tangible part of the apple. And then it makes a difference what it looks like. Is that a correct statement? You're still contemplating. I don't understand what the difficulty is.
How do you relate this to the darkness?
What?
How do you relate this to what you said about darkness?
Because in darkness there's no other way to relate to things except by the tangibility. A place that consists exclusively of what is tangible doesn't need light. Light is certainly superfluous. I really don't understand what your difficulty is. Anybody can help me out?
The point is just that without light, you just have a world that was physical, completely worldly. That's all. Instead of light, you have already
To remain on this
godly
call,
elements.
press 1.
It's not just touch, it's alludes.
Darkness is godly also.
Returning to the conference room.
Right. It's true that godliness transcends light or dark, but in our
That's a
discussion,
different issue.
fine. But in our discussion, we're just saying that darkness means the world is just worldly.
Net world is that which is tangible, and light doesn't fit in that arena.
Why? Because it's already super worldly.
Because light, no, please. What does
Light
light
is
tell you?
already godly elements.
What does light tell you?
It's real.
What it looks like, but it looks like it's totally insignificant.
It's significant from an exclusively worldly perspective.
You go into a dark basement where rats are running around. Will light help you, give you any kind of inspiration?
Prevent you stepping on one. I don't know. Don't have to be too inspiring, but.
On the other hand, if you have a beautiful room, it's dark, and you put on the light, then you see the beauty of the room, and it's inspiring. I got the richtige. Okay? No? Okay, stand up and tell me what you don't understand.
The word tangible
Yeah.
means you can touch.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you are saying that darkness is tangible.
No. No, no, I didn't say that.
That's what you said in
No, I didn't. Not a single more time. You didn't listen. I said, in darkness, you only know the tangibility of things. I didn't say darkness is tangible. If you come into this room, that's what I said, and it's dark, how will you find out what's in the room? By touch. But by its tangibility. Darkness is tangible, that's what I said. What?
You see when you listen.
What?
You see when you listen.
I did not say it.
Okay, fine.
1 second. Do you understand it now?
Yeah.
Okay, but
The functional aspect of light, that it's easier to get around and things like that. That's
that's
darkness. We're just leaving that out completely.
several times you repeated that I said that darkness is tangible, and every time I corrected you.
Okay.
All right. So, when the world was first created, it was dark. Why was it dark? Because that's what the world is about. But it's tangible, it plays a part. And if you want to relate to the intangibility of things, you don't need light. On the contrary, light obscures the tangibility. Light gives you turns your attention to its form, to its color, not to its physical tangibility. So when the REBBE said, "Let there be light," what was this statement say? The statement is saying that I don't want the world to be exclusively world. I want the world to represent also something of its creator. Let there be light. So therefore light immediately alludes to something higher, to the source of things. What is this about? Why is it here? What does it represent?
Almost like it's not a worldly element.
That's right, exactly right. Exactly right. It is not a worldly, that is a net worldly element. It's in the world, but it is spirituality translated on the worldly level. And this is even on the lowest level of oir as we know it. In Chassidus, the word oir focuses to this inyan at the highest level. but it serves not just to illuminate what you have in the physical world, but it serves it to tell you where it's coming from, what it's about. And this is the principle of Gilui Oir. Okay, so now we go inside. Again, he said we start from the line that begins with the word makom, and it is 7 lines from the bottom, right, Daniel? Okay.
Looks like it.
And at the end of that line. Okay. Let us focus in what we're saying so that we will not translate it in our own way. Just focus in the words that are being spoken. If you don't understand the word, ask the word, but don't try to transliterate it to something different. As for example, in comprehending some seichel, the word haskola means conceptualization. To get this to the point of a seichel. Haskola is different than hasoga. Hasoga is when you comprehend, when you understand it. Haskola is when it first opens up the conceptualization. Harei binekudas haskola, the chochma. Translate. Within the nekuda of the haskola, this haskola, every conceptualization consists of 2 realms. There is the nekuda of the concept, and there is its development. The nekuda of the concept is recognized and is at the center of the the chochma of this concept. This is what chochma relates to the nekuda of the seichel. Nekuda means what is its point? What is the message, the central message of this haskola?
Rabbi, is there a difference between the meaning of the word seichel and the English word idea?
The word seichel is used in different ways. Seichel means the idea, and seichel means the koyach seichel.
Okay. In this
The
case, we're
intellect.
talking about the idea.
The idea is the same thing.
Okay.
We spoke many times of what is a car about. How did a car come to be invented and invested so much effort and created? And we pointed out, at least at that time, it seemed to be universally understood, that the racing car, which is a kind of the extreme perfection of the car. It can run at extremely high speeds, very safely, and take turns, in a safe way, a sharp turn at great speed, and so forth. And its only use is the racing element, because it's not made for transportation. It has room only for one person. So we said that car is not the initial concept of the car. This is not what brought about the creation of the car. What did bring about the creation of the car? What was the concept behind building a car? The concept behind building a car was transportation. To be able to reach out to distances a little bit away from where you are, and reach out to there along with all your belongings, along with other people, in a meaningful way. This is what was behind the invention of a car, and this is what the invention, why it was successful. So what is the point of this concept?
You can move from A to B.
Not yet. That's half of it. The transportation. To go from A to B, a racing car can also go from A to B. But it's missing the point. The point is a human concept. It's not a trick. Oh, I can make something move. What's behind it? The concept of it is a fully rich human value. That's a point. That's the point of it. And it's so rich and so deep that people went ahead and invested tremendous effort and funds and so forth just to be able to create this car. And even after it was created, for decades afterwards, it was still improving on it.
It was what?
It was still improving on it. What were they improving? Not on the movement, on the functionality, on the human functionality. I don't know if any of you remember cars that you had to go out and crank them up to start it. Nobody?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, you're an ancient.
Sure. Crank the windows down.
No, crank the windows. Crank the motor.
Engine, crank the
Crank the
motor.
engine.
Crank the motor.
Up.
Yeah.
And then you go quickly
Get
into
it
the
tight,
into the
horses
cabin
with
and give it some yes. Okay. So they said, oh, this is wonderful. The car is moving, but it's not really serving the human being properly. We have to change that. We have to improve upon it so that you wouldn't have to go run back and forth and crank it out. Just put the key in and turn it, and it starts. This was an important aspect of the car. Why? Because it shows the human being. The car itself moves with or without that. But because the car represents a human function, all of these improvements are drawn from that nakuda.
When you guys came from Israel, I was an Uber driver and he left these things in the car.
Oh.
Yes. 84.
Wow, thank
He
you.
wasn't there.
Thank you.
Right? All right.
Which number?
84. Yeah,
What was the street?
84. But he just came from Israel, so his wife had 2 little kids, you know. So he told me to bring it. No, he told me anytime to bring it, you know, when I have a chance. I could Uber. So I just dropped it. No, it's okay. Yeah, God bless. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
I'll do it.
All right.
I'll do that.
Okay. Do we get the point was made in the Kudas HaSkola? This Kudas HaSkola exists only in the deepest and the finest element of the human seichel. As a matter of fact, children can play with toy cars, and they're totally immersed into it. But they're missing the whole Kudas HaSkola. Because it doesn't have that. They just project and they're just imitating. A racing car is also an imitation. It's lacking the nakuda. If you want to go and find the nakuda of something, project what made it happen. Can you imagine cars being built initially for the purpose of creating racing cars? That would be idiotic.
So people who are running racing cars are like little kids playing with toys?
Yes. I said, you go make a racing car and it goes at tremendous speeds and all it does is do this. Exactly right. And you know how childish these people are? I'll give you an example. These people go on Mesilas Nefesh.
He died.
What?
He died.
They die. And they have in their homes. My grandfather died on a racing track. My father died on a racing track. And I probably also will die on a racing track. And this is all I ideal in life. How stupid can you be? If somebody were to invent a car whose aim is to kill, he would go to prison.
Oh my God.
Okay, so the Kudas HaSkola, this exists in Moyach HaChochma of the person. Because Chochma, how does it come to Chochma? Chochma is reflection of the Nefesh. Nefesh is the godly presence in the person. Why would the person create it? What is the godly aim in the creation of this human being? That's reflected. That's in his nefesh, and this is where it becomes recognized in Chochmah. Okay, so now let's see inside what we just now talked about. I hope you have the place. For example, in the conceptualization of a seichel. Array, so then, behold, think about it. B'nekudas ha'haskola de chochma, in the very central point of this concept, as it is contained and recognized in Chochmah. Only in Chochmah. Why is it in the congregation in Chochmah? Because Chochmah is so fine and you go straight to the source, to the truth. Chochmah is not looking to have a personal experience. Just what is the truth about? What's the truth about? In this Nekuda is called of Chochma. Meir ha'oyer seichel. The oil of seichel. Meir shines begil oyerav. Begil oyerav by representing oyerav, enormous amount of oil. Because it speaks about something very real. In that, there in Chochmah is Gilui Oyerav. There is a lot of oil. And what is this a lot of oil represent, as I said? It is touching the nefesh itself. It's a real thing, it's a real life. This is what's sensed in the Nekudas Haskol. And then there's Gilui Oyerav. Hagam Ovel. And this is what we said before in the Chochmah. Although She'enei Masig Adayin as AYIN Sichel, although he does not yet comprehend or understand this AYIN Sichli,
Hello?
Eichu Mahu. What is the seichel about? In other words, he senses the nekuda, but what's the significance of it? What is the full understanding about the full meaning of this inyan does not yet comprehend. Taking our discussion now, putting it out on the table. We're talking about a car. And we said a car is for the purpose of human transportation. What does human transportation mean? What is the significance of it? What's behind it? The sense. It is not the experience of movement. It is not the speed of the speed of movement. It is the interconnectivity between different places in the world. Essentially, it is the realization that yes, I'm here, but really I'm in the entire world.
That's the idea of a car.
What?
That's the idea of the car.
That's the source of the idea of the car.
Mm-hmm.
He does not yet fully understand Hasoga. How will this benefit you? How will this come out in practice? Everybody knows international commerce. International commerce is a lifesaver for the world. And it existed from the beginning of time. Even though it was very dangerous, because they had to travel high seas. And they didn't have these huge boats that we have today. And many times the boats succumb to the waves. Do you know that the Rambam's brother was involved in international commerce? He drowned in one of these trips. The Rambam's brother.
How do you know?
He was not,
So how do you know?
He wasn't a simple man. He was a very great man. He supported the Rambam. He gave the Rambam the ability to do his learning.
Suffering Zvulun.
Huh?
Suffering Zvulun.
But then when he drowned, Rahman Islam, so the Rambam says that's when I had to start providing for my own support. That's when he became a doctor.
Huh.
I had to spend time, instead of learning, I had to spend time in the monarch's palace.
Wow.
Oy.
This international commerce, as I said, is a necessity. This is how goods get transferred, and what's produced here it reaches there, and this it reaches here. Just to give you a little bit of an inkling, the communists, stupid idiots. They were going to have a planned economy. I don't want to tell you the stupidity of it, but one thing I know for a fact. They had, in order to prove, to show how efficient their production was, they had a factory. This factory produced the shoe, the right shoe. This factory produced the left shoe.
Oh my God.
Then you had to join the right and the left, and they never joined. Because then you had to have transportation to bring things together. Somebody had to be responsible for this. So they have on the record, this factory produced X number of shoes, this factory produced X number of shoes. And the practical use of these shoes, it was totally zero. Totally zero. It never reached who cares about the people? Look how efficient our economy is. This is not a joke. This is an actual fact.
I heard about Stalin painting the trees green in but I never heard of anything like that. Oh my God.
Where does wisdom come from? From the human soul. And if you ignore that, you can make an efficient economy, and it's totally useless. So in the Nekuda scholar, okay, we have to spend just one. Even though he does not yet fully understand the significance of this point, but he senses its point. He does not have a full comprehension of it. Makom yet still, and here's the important thing I hope that we get still. Harehu meir shom begili b'yeser. This nekuda, the nekuda of the seichel, the significance of the seichel, shines there with great intensity, with great clarity. Oh yeah, this is so significant, it's so important. How it's going to happen yet we don't have yet full this commission. But this is so significant. This is how it is in the Kudzah school. This is it for this morning.
So, when we started speaking of a scala, we said
what?
When we started developing the idea of a scala, we said there's Nekuda and there's the development.
That's right, that's what we said. When you come to understand fully how this is going to be beneficial in practice, this is when it's already comprehended. But in the Nekuda scholar, you don't have it yet. But nonetheless, it is contained therein. It is contained therein because it comes from a human soul. The human soul does not speak of insignificant purposes. In that Nekuda is already contained the whole full benefit that will eventually materialize.
That's the idea.